Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for Nature Ki Pathshala, a panel discussion being organized by ID9 Group of Companies. I would like to welcome our founder, Engineer Ravi Shankar sir, and all the guest speakers that we have for today, Hadiana ma'am, Poonam ma'am, and Nahir sir, who will be joining us later. I welcome you all for this wonderful panel discussion. And today we have the topic zero hunger, zero wastage. Yes, we have been talking a lot about it, about zero hunger. Though we people are living in a place, we are like the situation, the conditions that we are living, we have lots that has been offered to us. We have choices to make every day for our breakfast, for our dinner, for our lunch. But there are many people, millions of people around the world who go without at least a meal in a day. And one of the reasons is people have been wasting a lot of food. And I think if we control this food wastage, there can be many whom we can be feeding every day. So let's start with the panel discussion. Our guest speakers have already joined. And now I will be starting from Hadiana Devi ma'am. Yes, Hadiana ma'am, please take over the session.
Hello, I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible now.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. First of all, my deepest gratitude to IDYM, Rafi Sir, Mom, and of course, our wonderful host as well as Dr. Anjum. I'm so happy to be here with all of you, and warm greetings also to all speakers, Raza Sir, and Dr. Poonam. So it's really an honor for me to be here with all of you today as we gather to discuss one of the most pressing issues plaguing our world. Like Dr. Anjum already mentioned about it, zero hunger and zero waste. And I think we need to focus our attention on the challenges faced, especially by the Southeast Asian countries, because we know that in developing countries, this issue really hit in different levels compared to the West area, for example. And I'm here, I'd like to share some solutions and idea, and I do really hope that we all can learn something in this session, especially with another speakers as well. We know that in the Southeast Asia, it's really a region known for its rich culture, heritage, and like it's well known for diverse landscape, vibrant economies, and however, it's also home to millions of people who suffer from food insecurity and where waste management remains a significant challenge. I'm from Indonesia, and I can see that these two things really can we witness simple by, we can walk out the door and we can see exactly several people who really face these challenges. So to combat this issue, we must adopt a multifaceted approach that involves both governments and individuals, because if we only rely on the government itself, it's really impossible, right? Because we all here together in this world, and leverage the powers of innovation and collaboration is also necessary. But first and foremost, we need to address the issue of food waste, because the staggering amount of food that is waste each day is not only an environmental concern, but also a moral one when there are millions of people going hungry, right? So in this case, I think government must enact policies that encourage and incentivize businesses to reduce food waste along the entire supply chain, because many people get hungry every single day, but we always can see as well, especially in this digital age on social media. I have seen so many videos daily where people really just waste their foods. Like, I know exactly that they have the ability to buy more foods, but sadly, they just waste it. But it's really the opposite things that we want to see in this balanced world. And I think this thing can be achieved through measures such as tax incentive for food donation, and make it a strict regulation on food labeling, and of course the promotion of sustainable packaging materials. And furthermore, I think educational campaigns targeting individuals are really crucial to raising awareness about the impact of food waste, because unfortunately, those videos that I have seen on social media, for example, they really look like adults. but they ate like a children, right? So we need to really raise awareness in this matter from the children to the adult, how important it is to keep our food. So we need to teach the children about the value of food and the importance of responsible consumption. So, okay, we have that foods for today. We also have to consider having empathy to another people, because I think it's really important for educators to remind the students that let's take a look from people from the other country, for example, in the Africa or in a part of Asians, that really they are going hungry every single day, and they fight for the food. So we have to bring it to the class. And I do really believe that many educators have implemented in the classroom, right? So we can instill habits that will last a lifetime. And I think additionally, we need to invest in community composting facilities that can help reduce organic waste while simultaneously providing a nutrient-rich soil for local farmers, or maybe those creating closed-loop system. So in parallel with efforts to tackle food and waste, we must also address the issues of hunger, right? And one of the key strategies, I do believe, is to improve agricultural practice and enhance the productivity. And in this case, again, same with the hunger, government should invest in research and development to develop drought-resistant and high-yielding crop and varieties suitable for the region's climate. Because, if we only work for individual in this big challenge, so it cannot be done. And if we only rely on the government, it's also like impossible to get it. And I think we also need to provide small-scale farmers with access to credit, training, and modern agriculture technologies that can significantly increase their productivity and income. Because in many areas, I think there is some kind of issues that farmers face, like maybe because of the climate change, and it's really difficult for them to keep up with maybe the planning and then all the things. So we need really to educate them as well, not only about the children. And I think we also need to empower women farmers, because this is another level of vital aspect of achieving zero hungers, because we know that women play a crucial role in agriculture, but often face unequal access to resources, including land, finance, and even the education. Many men farmers, for example, they got training for specific things, but women farmers, they got left behind. So we need promoting gender equality in this case as well, especially in rural areas, and ensuring that women have equal opportunities when we can unlock their full potential of their contribution to food security. And I think we also need to strengthening social safety nets and implementing target programs, because those things are really essential to ensure that vulnerable population have access to nutritious food. And this thing includes initiatives such as school feeding programs, nutrition education campaigns, and the provision of fortified foods to combat malnutrition. And lastly, of course, we need collaboration among governments like international organizations, NGOs, and even the private sector, because it's crucial to effectively address the challenges of zero hunger and zero waste. So by sharing best practice, pooling resources, and coordinating efforts, I do believe that we can make significant progress in overcoming these issues. And I think we also have to be aware that when we see something like I have mentioned before in the social media, maybe we accidentally, or it just simple randomly pop up in our social media maybe page, and then you see like some people waste their foods intentionally to go viral. I think it doesn't matter how small our contribution when we leave the comment to that specific person, because when something goes wrong, of course, maybe the other people also left the comment as well, right? But I think there is also small responsibility for us to at least remind that person. I personally, when I see so bad videos on social media, when content creator made a video which is really wasting the foods, and just really click bad and just want to get attention from people, I think I had to decide two things, whether I really want to buy their action by leaving comment or several things like that, or I can be silent because they do really certain things like that to get attention. And when we comment, even if it's negative, those people still can go viral. So in that case, for specifically, I think it doesn't mean that we just go silent and we ignore it, because sometimes it's better to ignore those kind of things, because in algorithm on social media, the more we left comments, even though it's negative, it's going to increase it. So it's going to pop up more on social media. So let's say when we simply ignore those kind of behaviors, they cannot even achieve what they want, because they target to make specific video is to go viral, to be seen from everyone, to be maybe praised or maybe to be acknowledged. Even though it's wrong, it's kind of impossible to hope get positive praise. But on the other hand, they just really want to simply get attention, and we doesn't need to feed their childish behavior, right? So if you see, I do sometimes simple report the videos. I didn't really leave a comment or something like that. I just simple left the report or something like that, because I do believe when we left comments sometimes, yeah, on the other side, I want to remind that person, but again, I have to look at them that they really want to get that. And when I realize that even one comment, it can increase the algorithm, it means like it can bring more opportunities for that person to be seen in the explore page on the social media. So I was thinking like, okay, I don't want to contribute it. So I simply didn't leave comment at all for those kind of things. But in this case, if you see such a behavior and you think like you maybe need to observe that account, if that person is continuously making video for wasting the food, I do really think that you don't need to give any certain act or reaction. But if you see that person maybe by accidentally made that kind of wasting food video, then it's better for you to remind them, become a reminder, and just leave a wise command to that person. Because yeah, no matter what kind of the things, when we want to raise awareness, it's really important, and it's easier for us to do that on social media because it can be seen from people across the globe, and it can be seen for many people that we don't know what kind of their background. So yeah, I think regional platforms should be established as well to facilitate knowledge exchange and cooperation, like enabling countries to learn from each other's success and challenges. And we can take the example success stories from the other countries. So to conclude my speech for today, I want to emphasize that achieving zero hunger and zero waste, especially in Asia countries, require a collective effort, because it demands bold leadership. Imagine like if you have a good leader, but they just don't want to take maybe risk action. Of course, it's really difficult to step out from our comfort zone and to get such a things like that to get done. So we also need innovation solution and a deep sense of urgency. But I believe that by working together, we can create a future where no one goes to bed hungry and where waste is minimized, and allowing us to build a more sustainable and equitable world for generations to come. So I think that's all from my side. Thank you so much for the opportunities. I'm giving back to Dr. Anjun.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. That was really a very great job. And as you said, yes, we should minimize waste, because we know that when there are people around the world who have been going to sleep for sometimes for days, they don't have anything to eat. And some of the points raised by you that were very good, I must say, like we should not depend on the government. We mostly think that if we want to deal with hunger, the government has a lot to do, but we should start from ourselves. And there should be collaboration between the governments from the different countries to handle this problem. And the most important point that you said was about empowering the women farmers. So that is really a very great point. And yes, of course, about the how we react on the social media sometimes. That was really something unique to say, because when we see such videos, we always tend to just leave some comment. And we think that we should be commenting because the person is doing wrong. But I think is the next thing we should avoid, because the more we comment, the more it trends on the social media. So that was also a very great point coming from you. Thank you for your wonderful talk, ma'am, and be with us for this panel discussion. And nextly, I would like to call upon our next speaker, Dr. P.K. Rajput, sir.
Thank you, Anjum ma'am. Once again, very, very good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Salam alaikum to you, Nahid Sabhai and Hardinia madam, Poonam ma'am, Sandeep Kumar ji, to whom I am able to see, and the people who are listening. Sorry, I was little late for 10 minutes, and because a very important person, very personality has come to my home and he's with me. I made him to talk to Ravi ji. He is working, he is a space scientist, one of the youngest space scientists, and he is working on one of the very important project of our respected Prime Minister, right, which he is going to ensure that it will be fulfilled by February. And his name is Shri Deepak Singh ji. So he's there sitting next to me. So I was discussing with him, right? So you can see, I can just turning the camera. So you can see, yeah, he is here. Hello. Hello to everyone. So he is here, and he is working on Gaganyaan, right? And since IDYM is a part of ISRO, right? Because ISRO has been collaborated. So it is a great opportunity that today we are discussing from last 1 hour. What are things are there, learning from him, understanding the things from him. So it is an opportunity. So thank you so much. And that was the reason of late, but of course the excuses are not there. So today was a very wonderful topic, right? The topic was that nature, right? Nature ki Pathshala, right? So, how we can define the nature? According to me, defining nature is defining about your mother. And it is always less when you start defining the goodness of your mother, right? And as a mother, Anju ma'am can understand, and all the mothers can understand very well. And as a daughter or as a son, we can also understand very well. So it is applicable for everybody. Like we are the children's, or either you are the mothers, right? So this is very important. Am I right, Nurfika ma'am? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the definition of the nature can be subjective, and it depends on the cultural, historical, and individual perspectives. That how you take the nature very well. Believe you me, in this the environmental day, I had an opportunity, though I had visited a lot of the forest area and all, but this time I spent 3 hours to be a part of the forest. That was 22 acres of the forest along with the good people, along with the children and all. I was able to understand the beautiful voices of the nature, how nature speaks, how nature is giving to us, and how we are destroying the nature. Both the things are there. Right, people they say that you put the sapling there, right? People they say that, but now when I was talking to one of the botanists, he said that before putting the sapling, please ensure that the tree should be safe, because when we put the sapling, out of 10, out of 100, only 5 saplings that grew up, and after 30 years, when we don't know about it, but the trees which are 20 years, 30 years old, if you start saving them, I think we are able to save the lives, many lives, which is very important. This is one part of the nature which we talk about it. Second thing is, so many other things are available in this beautiful nature. It gives us fruits, it gives us oxygen, it gives us so many sustainability part when we talk about it, right? Climate change, it takes care of the climate change. Why we talking about it? That today we are changing ourselves, we are going to the concrete jungle, right? And the concrete jungle has to be changed, where a lot of the trees has to be inculcated. We are not able to hear the chirping voice of the birds, right? Our children who are there in the flat system, they don't know how the butterfly flies, how the chirping of the birds happen, which we have seen, which we have touched the bird with the butterfly from our hand. We have seen how the caterpillar turns to the butterfly. Today, it is only there in the virtual platform. What has been taught to the children? Because we all have seen that part, that what nature gives to us, that is very important part is there. Second thing is, another thing which I like to add is that nature teaches us resilience, adoption, and the cycle of the nature of the life. Because nature shows about when you cut the tree, still the stems are there. It will again become a tree. That is a part of resilience. That is a part of perseverance, right? That nature shows us. In spite of that, you cut the tree, trees again comes in a bigger way, and trees gives us oxygen, trees gives us fruits, all many things are there. Trees also tells us that when you are growing, you should be ground to the earth. It always says when the mangoes are there in the mango tree, the trees will don't go up, the mangoes comes down, the fruits comes down. So you have to be grounded toward the earth, which is very important. That also nature teaches us. That's why the nature ki Pathshala tells us. So how we can implement the learning from the nature? According to me, implementing the learning from the nature requires us to observe and learn from the nature world and apply these lessons to our lives and works. And at the same time, as an educator or as a parent or as a elder people, we should inculcate these good habits from the children itself. If you start inculcating these good habits, so they will be able to learn about it, which is very important. It is very, very true that whatever we teach to our children, good thing, bad thing, children will immediately absorb it. And we start respecting the nature. If we take them to the places there, right, instead of every time taking to the hotels, picnic and all, let us go to some places where there is a scenic requirement is there, where there is a godly things are happening there. I think we can make them understand that how nature is a second mother to us and how we should be respecting it. And at the same time, we have to do a lot of outdoor activity. I always request, because we are in the area where even Anjum ma'am is there, where the temperature is 45, 48 and 50 degrees, right? Where the temperature is not there, where the temperature is 20, 21 degrees, right? And when we have the capability and capacity to go something out for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, let us go there. Let us enjoy the scenic beauty of the nature. Let us absorb the good things of the nature. And when we start absorbing, you will get the calmness, perseverance, persistence, right? And the capability to make the things happen, to give back to the world, to give back to the society. So that is all. I keep on learning, because every time nature gives us a lot of things. And if you don't respect nature, you know what had happened in the COVID, right? Nature has taken it this thing. If you start throwing the plastic in the thing, it will bounce back to us. And again, the things are happening. If you start cutting the trees, the people started suffering the respiratory disease. So nature is very clear. Nature have the patience, lot of patience. But you start twisting the arm of the nature, then nature will also give you some time, which is going to realize. So this is our responsibility wherever we are there. I was listening very carefully with Nufika ma'am. Very well she said about it, right? And I'm sure Nahi sir, Poonam ma'am, you are going to speak, and Anju ma'am is already going to make the things happen. So from this wonderful platform of IDYM, this is my simple request. I can request the people that yes, let us inculcate these good habits, and let us teach our children, let us teach our young generation that let us save, because nature is like mother, and we all always are ready to save our mother, right? Whatever the condition are, either we are rich or the poor, but mother is mother, and nature is again a mother. Thank you so much for giving me time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It was really a wonderful talk. And yes, I always remember you say nature is our mother, and yes, we have to, look after, we have to take care of the nature. And it also depends upon how we give back to the nature. If we keep on spoiling it, like you were giving an example of if we throw a plastic anywhere, so we know the kind of harm. It is not just a plastic that we are throwing on the road, but indirectly it is harming so many living things, so many animals that come in contact with that. So yes, sir, we have to, and we have to learn from the nature, as you were telling about calmness, resilience, perseverance, persistence. Yes, that is everything that we are learning from the nature. So thank you, sir, for joining, and thank you for this wonderful talk.
Thank you, Anjum ma'am. I will be taking a leave from everybody, because I will be spending little time with Deepak sir, right? And for the future work which we'll be doing for the IDYM as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Good night. Khuda Hafiz to everybody. See you soon. Bye bye.
So we were listening to Dr. P.K. Rajput sir, one of our mentors, and now I would like to invite our next speaker, Nahid Reza sir.
Very good evening, everyone. Sorry. The way this topic has been coined, I sincerely appreciate. Reason being, no hunger, no waste. It means if waste is not there, hunger will not be there. Am I audible? right? So I appreciate this coinage of this elliptical sentences. And I have prepared very small notes with problem and solutions. Zero hunger is a goal set by the United Nations aiming to end hunger, food insecurity, and malnutrition globally by 2030. Zero hunger is important because it is estimated that over 800 million people worldwide suffer from malnutrition and hunger. Hunger is linked to poverty and has negative impact on people's health, education, and livelihood. What can we do? We can donate for the ones who are hungry. We can encourage our government to coordinate and bring about solutions, right? And we can reduce waste. My second note comes here. In 2020, between 720 million and 811 million persons worldwide were suffering from hunger, roughly 161 million more than in 2019. Also in 2020, a staggering 2.4 billion people, or about 30% of the world's population, were moderately or severely food insecure, lacking regular access to adequate food. Please understand. Globally, 149.2 million children under 5 years of age, or 22%, were suffering from stunting. Means distortion was there physically. Low height for their age in 2020. Right? So this is what is happening. The share of countries burdened by high food prices. The reason is high food prices. We need to promote sustainable agriculture, support small-scale farmers, and equal access to land, technology, and markets. To achieve this goal, we require holistic approach, ensuring accessible and nutritious food to reduce hunger and malnutrition. With proper investment in agriculture, change in production and consumption pattern. Right? Please understand again. Around 1 point, because the matter is very serious. Around 1.3 billion tons of food gets wasted each year, which much of it ending up in landfill and contributing to climate change. Why climate change? Because methane gas is produced due to this wastage. More than 820 million people don't have enough to eat. Food doesn't mean wasted food. It means wasted money, wasted water, wasted energy, wasted land, and wasted transport. Discarded food is often sent to landfill, where it is left to rot and produce poisonous gases. Since the Zero Hunger Challenge was launched in June 2012, governments, NGOs, private sector companies, religious leaders, and citizens around the world have taken up the call. The Zero Hunger Challenge was launched in the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon in 2012. Climate change and natural disasters such as droughts, landslides, and flood greatly affect food security. Disaster risk management, climate change, adaptation, and mitigation are the keys to increase harvest quality and quantity. We need to maintain genetic diversity of seeds. Right? So these are my points I wish to submit. I hope that we will implement, we'll do it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And it was really a very great numbers, like you spoke about you came up with the correct data and statistics related to hunger. And of course, yes, as you said, when we are wasting food, it is not on the food that we are wasting a lot of money, we're wasting a lot of time, energy, everything is getting wasted. especially the emerging of methane gas that comes from the landfills. That is again a very serious issue because we are just going and dumping it in the landfill. You know, every day from the weddings, even Hadiana ma'am was talking about that, especially in the Indian weddings, if we see, I just came back from a party now, so I could see how food is wasted. It just waste food. So I think somewhere we need to be, be careful that if we have so many dishes in front of us, we should know what we like and what we don't like. And according to that, we will be taking on our plate. And even as you were talking about, when in 2012, this campaign was launched and how everyone was talking about it. So even now we need that everyone should actually realize, each person should realize this, that when we are wasting food, we are actually indirectly harming so many people at a time. We are harming the environment at a time. So this has to be realized, I think. So that was really a great point upon where you, and especially you came up with so much of data. Like because I started with this, I just mentioned that, okay, there are millions of people, but you came up with the exact data. That was really a very great talk. Thank you, sir, for joining. And thank you for being with us. And let's move on to our next speaker, Poonam Gothi ma'am. Poonam ma'am, are you there?
Very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening, sir. Today topic is very important. The topic is zero hunger to zero waste. भारत एक धनी राष्ट्र है जिसकी आबादी निर्धन है, लेकिन भारत एक धनी देश है। इसको हम किसी भी पहलू में देखें तो ये एक सत्य साबित होती हुई चीज आज के समय में भी दिखती है। चाहे भारत के प्राकृतिक वातावरण देख लीजिए, चाहे जनसंख्या देख लीजिए, चाहे खाद्यान्न देख लीजिए, चाहे ऐसी जनसंख्या देख लीजिए जिसको कि आज भी पूर्ण रूप से खाद्यान्न नहीं मिल पाता है। तो भारत एक धनी देश है जिसकी आबादी निर्धन है। वो हर एक पहलू में यह तथ्य सत्य साबित होता है। प्रकृति की जो है वो हमें अनेक चीज देती है, लेकिन उसके बदले में हम प्रकृति को कुछ भी नहीं देते हैं। ये हमारी सबसे बड़ी कमी है। हमारे जीवन में गुणवत्ता में सुधार और तकनीकी विकास ने प्रकृति के संसाधनों को बढ़ाया है, लेकिन उसे असंतुलित भी कर दिया है, क्योंकि पिछली 2 शताब्दियों से मशीनरीकरण के उत्पादन को आसान बना दिया है, लेकिन इन संसाधनों के अत्यधिक उपयोग को भी बढ़ावा दिया है। संसाधनों के हमारे सतत विकास से पर्यावरणीय समस्याएं भी हमारे सामने आई हैं, जैसे वायु प्रदूषण, जल प्रदूषण, जनसंख्या वृद्धि आदि ऐसी अनेक समस्याएं आई हैं जो कि हमारी भोजन की मांग को बढ़ाती हैं। जब हमारी भोजन की मांग बढ़ती है, खपत बढ़ती है, तो हमें उसका उत्पादन करने के लिए जरूरत भी बढ़ती है। हम उसका जब उत्पादन बढ़ाते हैं तकनीकी के थ्रू के द्वारा, तो उससे अनेक समस्याएं जो है कि हमारे सामने आती हैं। आज दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है खाद्य की सुरक्षा का। हम खाद्य तो बढ़ा रहे हैं तकनीकी विकास से, लेकिन उसको हम सुरक्षित ढंग से नहीं रख पाते हैं। हमारी कम से कम 35% खाद्यान्न जो है खेत से जब तक मार्केट में आती है तब तक ही बर्बाद हो जाती है, क्योंकि हम उसका गलत ढंग से उपयोग करते हैं। पृथ्वी से लगातार कंटिन्यूअस लेते जा रहे हैं, लेकिन हम पृथ्वी को कभी भी कुछ देते नहीं हैं। इसलिए दुनिया का आधा हिस्सा भूखमरी का शिकार है। आज स्थिति यह है कि कुछ लोग जो भूखमरी के आधा हिस्सा शिकार है और आधा हिस्सा जिनके पास इतने संसाधन हैं कि वो आधे से ज्यादा चीजों को वेस्ट करते हैं, उसका उपयोग बहुत कम करते हैं। हम बड़ी बड़ी पार्टियों में देखते हैं लगभग इतना खाने की चीजें बनती हैं, शायद ही उसमें से 50% भी खाई जाती हो, बाकी 50% जो है वो बर्बाद होती हैं। अब इन्हीं सब चीजों को देखते हुए जो हमारा विश्व स्वास्थ्य संगठन है या हमारा जो NGO वगैरह है, वो इस पे बहुत सा प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि जो भी खाना वेस्ट ना हो, वो जो खाना बचे उसको हम उन लोगों तक पहुंचाएं जिनको की जरूरत है। जब हम शादी ब्याह में बहुत ज्यादा खाना बना लेते हैं, तो हम उनको उन तक पहुंचाने की कोशिश करते हैं NGOs के माध्यम से, जिनको उसकी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत होती है। अब हम आगे देखते हैं कि भूखमरी के लिए कैसे जीवन बर्बाद होता है लोगों का। रहने की स्थिति में सुधार और खाद्यान्न विविधता में वृद्धि से वैश्विक खपत पैटर्न में वृद्धि हुई है। पिछले 3 दशकों में खाद्य उत्पादनों में 2 गुना वृद्धि हुई है। विश्व स्वास्थ्य संगठन के अनुसार हर साल 8,000 मिलियन लोग भूखमरी से प्रभावित होते हैं। यह संख्या केवल भविष्य में बढ़ेगी। दुनिया भर में लगभग 3 मिलियन लोगों के पास स्वस्थ पौष्टिक भोजन नहीं पहुंच पाता है। 2050 तक ये आंकड़ा जो है वो 35% हमारी आबादी का हो जाएगा। हालांकि समस्या भोजन की कमी नहीं है, दुनिया में सभी को खिलाने के लिए पर्याप्त मात्रा में भोजन है। समस्या इसकी बर्बादी की है, क्योंकि हमारे पास धनी राष्ट्र है, जितना हम उपयोग करते हैं उससे अधिक हम बर्बाद करते हैं भोजन। यह दुनिया की गरीबी हिस्सों को कम भोजन के साथ छोड़ देता है। हमारे अतिरिक्त यहाँ के युद्ध, संघर्ष, आर्थिक संगठन, राजनीतिक अस्थिरता इत्यादि भी भूखमरी को बढ़ावा देते हैं। विश्व बैंक के अनुसार दुनिया भर में 800 मिलियन लोग अंतरराष्ट्रीय गरीबी रेखा से नीचे रहते हैं। भूख का मतलब कोई व्यक्ति अपने शरीर को पोषण प्रदान नहीं कर सकता है, यह ताकत को कम करता है, व्यक्ति को शारीरिक श्रम में शामिल नहीं होने देता है, जिससे आय का नुकसान होता है। भूख का एक अन्य कारण युद्ध और संघर्ष है। विश्व खाद्य कार्यक्रम के अनुसार यमन, सीरिया, सूडान, म्यांमार आदि युद्धग्रस्त इलाकों में 490 मिलियन लोग भूख से जी रहे हैं। यहाँ तक कि जलवायु परिवर्तन भी भूख का एक कारण है। बढ़ती हुई वर्षा, सूखा, तूफान इत्यादि भी हमारे यहाँ खाद्यान्न की असुरक्षा को बढ़ावा देते हैं। खाना को बर्बाद करने की हमारी जो नीति है, यदि हम वार्षिक रूप से उत्पादन को देखें तो 4 से 5 बिलियन टन भोजन का उचित वितरण प्राप्त कर सकते हैं, तो हम 2050 तक पृथ्वी पर 9.7 बिलियन लोगों को खाना खिला सकते हैं। हालांकि 7.5 बिलियन लोगों की हमारी वर्तमान दुनिया में प्रत्येक 9 में से 1 व्यक्ति भूखा है। ऐसा इसलिए क्योंकि हम उत्पादित भोजन का 30 से 40% बर्बाद कर देते हैं। दूसरे शब्दों में हम हर साल करीब 1.3 से 1.6 अरब टन खाना बर्बाद करते हैं। वर्तमान खाद्यान्न अपशिष्ट प्रवृत्तियों को ध्यान में रखते हुए यह प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को खिलाने के लिए वर्तमान उत्पादन दर 60 to 120% तक बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता होगी। हमें अतिरिक्त 3 बिलियन टन भोजन का उत्पादन करने की आवश्यकता है। वर्ल्ड रिसोर्स इंस्टीट्यूट के अनुसार हम विश्व स्तर पर उत्पादित भोजन का 1/3 हिस्सा उस क्षण बर्बाद कर देते हैं जब तक हम खेत से बाहर निकालते हैं, जब हम उसे अपनी प्लेटों पर रखते हैं। उत्तरी अमेरिका, चीन, जापान, यूरोप, दक्षिण कोरिया जैसे धनी और औद्योगिक देश विश्व स्तर पर उत्पादित भोजन का 61% खाना बर्बाद कर देते हैं। भोजन की बर्बादी की भारी संख्या को देखते हुए हम विश्व भूख को समाप्त कर सकते हैं यदि हम अपनी खपत को कम करें तो। यह बहुतायत में से स्पष्ट है कि भोजन की बर्बादी भूख का कारण बनती है। यानी अगर हम भोजन को बर्बाद होने से बचाते हैं तो हम 0 हंगर टू 0 वेस्ट हासिल कर सकते हैं। इसके लिए हमें अपनी खपत पे ध्यान देना होगा कि हमें मॉल से सामान खरीदने हम जाते हैं, जैसा कि हम लोग सभी जाते हैं मॉल से, जिस चीज की हमें नीड नहीं होती हम वो भी खरीद के ले आते हैं और उसको स्टोर कर लेते हैं और फिर थोड़े दिन बाद हम देखते हैं कि उसकी एक्सपायरी डेट हो गई और हमने उसका यूज भी नहीं किया है। तो इस तरह से हम किराने की दुकानों से सामान लें जिससे कि हम कम मात्रा में ही सामान लेके आए और उसका स्टोर हम उतनी मात्रा में ना करें कि वो दूसरों को ना मिले और बर्बाद हो, हमें वो सड़क पे फेंकना हो। तो इसलिए जितनी जरूरत हो हमें उतना ही खाना यूज करना चाहिए, क्योंकि प्रकृति हमें सब कुछ दे रही है लेकिन हम उसका प्रयोग जो है बहुत गलत ढंग से कर रहे हैं। Thank you so much, Anju ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Poonam ma'am. And yes, because as Poonam ma'am said, it is not that we are lacking food, we are lacking the food, amount of food on this earth. A lot of is being produced, but more than that, it is being wasted. Even we waste a lot of food. It is not like just a few months ago, like I was talking about how we waste food in parties or some wedding functions and all that. But most of the times we get a lot of eatables at our home. We just buy from the malls and we keep it at our home. And after a few days, we find that it has reached its expiry date and we throw it. And sometimes it is that while handling like the vegetables and the fruits, once they are produced by the farmers until they reach the market, most of it gets wasted. So it is, and the third reason that she pointed out was due to the wars. There are some countries which are for continuously they have been facing wars for so many years, and wars are also one of the reasons why we are facing food crisis nowadays. So this was some of the points that were given by Poonam ma'am. So thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful talk. And it is really great listening to you. And
Thank you so much, ma'am.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Ravi sir, for giving me this opportunity. रवि सर ने मुझसे हमेशा कहा कि आप जिस भी लैंग्वेज में चाहो उसमें बोलो, तो मैं अपनी लैंग्वेज को ज्यादा महत्व देती हूँ, इसलिए ही मैं हिंदी में हमेशा बोलती हूँ.
Yes, not understood.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. And Patricia ma'am has also joined with us. Patricia ma'am, are you there? I would like to listen from you. Patricia ma'am. Patricia ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Waiting to listen from you.
All right. It's okay. Let me just, it's all right. My video, let me switch on my video. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I would like just to share a bit about zero hunger and zero poverty. Is our SDG number 1 and our SDG number 2. And these are very important and they are very interrelated, especially goals for my continent, Africa. I'm from Zimbabwe. As you all know that Africa has been grappling with these challenges of poverty, of hunger for so many decades, and it is very important that we achieve these goals. And to achieve these goals, it requires a lot of, we have to address a lot of issues, for example, including issues like food security, issues like economic growth, issues like maybe social protection. We know that there are so many wars happening in Africa, some of them civil wars that are affecting even farming in some countries. And then sometimes this leads to hunger. And then some people are being misplaced. And especially also after COVID-19, it threw a lot of people under the bus because some of them did not get their work back after COVID-19. So for in Africa example, yes, we can talk about challenges, but we need to look at how to tackle these issues of hunger because Africa as a continent, it needs to increase food production. And for example, the governments need to invest, especially in agricultural research and development. There's need for also to improve our infrastructure, because if the government gives us sometimes fertilizer, sometimes it gives us food, but there are some places where we cannot reach because of poor infrastructure. So there's need to improve infrastructure. And also, we know that some of the people didn't get their work back after maybe COVID-19, they were laid back on their work. So we also need to increase, especially the corporate world, to increase access to credit and finance for farmers. And also we need to promote policies that promote sustainable agriculture and food system. For example, my country is agro-based, so we need access to finance so that we can have farmers going back into their fields, and so that we do not have hunger. And then to address poverty in Africa, we need to promote inclusive economic growth, and this can be done through maybe policies that aim to create jobs, as we know that so many people are out of jobs because of economic instability caused by different things in our countries. And we need also to promote entrepreneurship. And as I am in the education sector as well, to start in our education, career development, entrepreneurship, so that our children do not only look for work when they leave tertiary education, but they should be able to create jobs themselves. And then social protection programs are needed, for example, cash transfers, social insurance, which can help to reduce poverty and inequality. So achieving zero hunger and zero poverty in Africa, it will need a concerted effort from governments, from the civil society, from the education sector, private sector, international organizations, and corporate world. And this will require sustainable investments in agriculture, infrastructure, and social protection. Thank you so much, IDYM, for giving me this opportunity to talk. Over to you, our moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, of course. Yes, it was always great listening to you. And I hope you're better now. You're feeling better today. And you joined.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. And yes, you raised very great points. Yes, and being an educator, especially, I know you're a very great educator, and you have been working with students, taking up so many projects with not only they are learning, but they are learning so many new things. They are learning how to give back to the nature. And even today, you told about how education can help. So that is really a great point. Thank you for joining with us and sharing your views with us. And next, I would like to invite our next speaker, Jaya Gaur ma'am. Jaya ma'am.
I think good evening, ma'am. Like there is some network glitch, I think. Hello,
Yes,
am I
ma'am.
audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible, ma'am.
Very good evening to everyone. My name is Jaya Gaur. I am from Kanpur. So, hello, hi. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay.
Is it possible for you to switch on the camera?
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Like your voice is not coming. It is breaking.
Can you just switch on your camera? Or you can start. Yes. Now it's okay. Great.
So.
I think Jaya ma'am has lost the connection. Just let us wait for her. Next 2 to 3 minutes, she'll be joining back. I think Chair ma'am is facing some network issues, and I think it's not possible for her to join back. But let's wait. And by that time, I would like to just talk to our panelists. Hadiana ma'am, so what, according to you, like being an educator, what we can be doing to promote this message among the students that we should not waste food, or we should stop food wastage? So what can we do as an educator?
Okay, thank you so much, Anju ma'am. I think as educators, we know that nowadays students at the specific age, let's say they are a teenager, they might be more engaged if we bring more visual at the classroom. So I do really think that if the educators try to show the students, for example, an animation video about how important we finish our foods and how not really good if we waste the foods by showing them the animation videos, I think they will be more connected. And it's really important to us as educators to show the reality as well. So first, we need to bring their attention, right? So we try to bring their attention by showing some animation video that might be interest for them. And after that, we need to bring back them to the reality. How about the reality for the people from Africa, for example, like Dr. Patricia has said? And by those things, that they can really start to make a critical thinking. Okay, we got these things, maybe in the fancy thing in our life. And on the other hand, we have to witness the things that maybe we don't ever want to have it in our life. And by that time, we can also combine it into a situation or into a classroom environment where we can ask the students how about their feelings if they are in that situation. So we also engage the empathy in that time. So when they can understand that it's not feeling good in that situation, of course, I think they will think twice to waste their foods. They will think maybe it's better to finish our foods and don't ever try to waste the foods, even if you have more, even if you have the ability to buy more. Because yeah, the thing is, many people, they know that they have more power, buy more foods. But then at the end, because sometimes it's really fun for them to waste it just for attention, like I have mentioned before. So it's really important for educators as well that we have the responsibility for everything that we buy, for everything that we make. And after we address certain things like that, I think we can create a more mature mind from our students. So maybe they will think twice or even 3 times to waste their foods. So I think that's like that we can bring to the classroom like animation video, and then we can show them the reality of how actually the situation in certain areas. So it can touch their heart because we can connect both things that they like with the animation videos, and then both on the other side, we can show them the reality. So I think they will get more engaged, especially for the teenagers.
Yes, that's really great points. Yes, because as an educator, we have a great responsibility. It's not just about teaching few subjects to them, but we have to make them, we have to develop them as good human beings as well. And as you said, yes, it is very required that we tell them. And just by telling them, I know that they won't understand it. Like you told, like we can show them some videos and they will know, yes, they are wasting food, and how harmful is food wastage and what is the impact of that. So obviously we can help the children to follow this message of zero hunger, zero wastage. So thank you, ma'am. And yes, Patricia ma'am is also there. So I would like to know from Patricia ma'am, is again coming to the same topic. How as an educator, we can help the children to give a message, to disseminate a message among them about zero hunger and zero wastage.
Okay, thank you so much. Just like Hediana has already said, telling stories, showing videos. But what we are doing as a school, my school as well, we have what we call an SDG club. In that SDG club, that's when we explain our children, teach them about the several sustainable development goals. And then we also show our children, like Vadiana said, videos of some children who are not getting what they should be able to get in terms of food. And then we have an orchard we have a garden behind our classrooms, whereby during club time, we go and grow some lettuce, we grow in some garden crops that the school can use as well. So it's sustainable living practices. We are teaching them to live sustainable. And also we take them to different farms as well, whereby they also go and learn about different types of farming and agriculture. In our curriculum here in Zimbabwe, we have a subject that we call agriculture. So each and every child from grade 1 up to the grade 7, whereby they are leaving for high school, they are taught agriculture. As I said, that we're agro-based farming, because we have to still it in our pupils, so that they can also work for themselves. And then we have some lessons with them. During break time, we go around with children, checking what they are eating, talking about the nutritious meals. And then when we also, after that, sometimes we also go to children's homes, whereby we also go and donate some food items to some children. We are teaching them about empathy. So those are some of the things that we can teach our children at such an early age, and also talk about food wastage. Take them into the street. We see there are some children, street children, who are there who do not have enough food. So by that, we are instilling in our children empathy, and also so that they value whatever we teach them in our schools. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It was really a really great thing, and like something new which I came to know from here that in Zimbabwe, from grade 1 to 7, you have a subject called as agriculture. So that is really a great thing. And you talk about we should be as an educator, we should give time where we talk to the students about what they have taught in different, what they're eating, about nutrition, and especially about donating food. Because that's really a very great thing. We have to teach them empathy, and even Hadiana ma'am talked about the same thing about empathy. We have to teach them, and yes, because when we just see this topic, zero hunger, zero wastage, we only think that we should not waste food, so that everyone should have it. But how to tell them? That is not just telling them that you should not waste food, but why we should not waste food. That is more important. And these are some of the human values that you told about donating food, about inculcating empathy among them. So that's really a very great thing. And of course, we should be doing it. And yes, this is something which I saw at the school in which my daughter studies. Even there, I have seen they have a weekly once they have a day in which the students are asked to bring, it is it is a voluntary activity. The students are not forced, but the students are asked to bring, like if you can bring a packet of biscuit, or you can bring some bread or anything to eat, and all they collected from the students and they donated to some orphanage, sometimes to an old age home. And they know it. They know where the students know it very well where it is being donated. So this is again some small practice which is going on in the schools. So it is really great listening to all of you and learning more about the topic, zero hunger and zero wastage. And with this, we come to the end of our panel discussion today. And thank you all the speakers, Hadiana ma'am, Patricia ma'am, Poonam ma'am, Nahid Reza sir, and Rajpal sir, to share your views. And
thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And of course, ID5, it is such a unique platform. Today, we had Hadiana ma'am from Indonesia, we have Patricia ma'am from Zimbabwe, and Rajpal sir and Poonam ma'am from India. And we can see how the people from different countries are coming and presenting their views. And yes, of course, we know that though the problem is same, but the situation is different in the nations around the world. So it is a very great platform where we just come and share our views with us, and we know and we learn from each other. So thank you very much. Let's conclude.